It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and your host, Tom Griswold.
Look who's here to save us. Thank you,
there
Billy.
we go. Look at the handsome face.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Billy Gardell.
Look at that face.
Look at that.
Billy.
How are you,
Hi,
sir?
good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Great to see you.
And
Well, hello, Tom, and hello, Chick, and hello, Christy. And now there's a couple in there I don't know, but hello to you guys. Good morning.
Hi. Hello.
you're looking extraordinarily handsome, Billy, I must say. And
Well, you know, Tom, when you grow a mustache, you either end up looking old-timey or creepy, and it worked out for me. So
Okay.
I kind of look like a deep dish Clark Gable.
now, where are you physically right now?
I am in my office in my house.
Okay, are you in California?
I am, sir. Yes.
So it's rather early.
That's why it's still dark out.
Yes, but we got to get up and sell the sign, man. We got to get up and sell the sign. I've been doing it long enough to know it's not just on my charming personality and talent. So
Okay.
I know that.
Billy Gardell is a fine comedian and actor, and the new season of Barb, that would be weird. Bob Hearts Abishola. I knew I wanted to make sure I got Abishola right, but then I screwed up the Bob part.
That's a tough one.
That'll happen. What's going on this season? Give us the teasers.
It's good, man. This year they're getting engaged, and that happened in a weird way, which is the lovely part of this show. Nothing happens in a traditional things happen in a non-traditional way, and I like that. And this year they've got some issues with getting her a divorce because the divorce rate in Nigeria is 2%, and they wrote a great line about that in the show. It's like 2%. They've been together for that long or something. And he goes, "Oh yeah, they didn't get divorced. Are they happy?" He goes, "What does that have to do with anything?" they don't get divorced, so they have to kind of navigate that together. And it's more about the blending of the two families this year. When you marry someone, you marry their family. So there's always just fun comedy in that stuff.
Yeah. How many episodes have you shot already?
We have shot 10, and they shortened the season obviously because of COVID, but we were one of the lucky ones. We usually would get a 22 order. They cut us to 18, but we've been very, very diligent with, Warner Brothers has laid out testing, and I mean, we get tested every morning. We wear masks during rehearsal. They sanitize the set. You only take your mask off. If you do a scene, then you put it right back on. And so far we've done 9 episodes, which has taken about 5 months, and we've only had like 3 or 4 cases. So the contact tracing and the masks really work. It really, really works.
Okay. Once again, we're speaking with Billy Gardell, and Billy probably introduced to many of you from the show Mike and Molly. Do you ever, put it this way, if you're doing nothing for some reason and you're you're looking at the TV, one of the episodes shows up, is there one that you will actually sit there and watch the whole one because you just like that one so much?
I watched every episode every Monday night when it was on, just like I do with this show. But one, because I'm not sure why you get into this business. I've never understood like actors who go, "I did that movie, but I haven't seen it." Well, you're a jagoff. Seriously, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? And then I watch them like game tape, like, "Oh, I could have done that better," or "Oh, I missed that," or "Oh, that was all right," But I look back on those reruns of Mike and Molly because I'll put that show's first 2-3 years up against any sitcom that was on. I mean, looking back now, that cast was so strong.
Great.
And the writing was so good. I looked very fondly on that show. I mean, that's the reason I'm in this office. You know what I mean? I really enjoy looking back. Looking back now, Tom, I can enjoy it. Like the terror of doing it the first time. Are we going to be on next week? It was just so much. So now I can kind of enjoy it.
We're talking about the new show featuring actor and comedian Billy Gardell, Bob Hearts Abishola. Are you? I know last time we talked to you, you'd done a stand-up special. I obviously with COVID, I assume you haven't been able to do any stand-up of any kind, have you?
No, I got to be careful with this thing, man. I put all my money on Dr. Fauci. I'm a gambling man. That seems like the guy I'm going to trust, and I have to be extra careful with this. I'm overweight. Well, I've lost some weight, but I'm still overweight. I got type 2 diabetes. You know, this thing's outside doing push-ups looking for me, so I have to be real careful. So I backed off the touring as soon as that closed down in March. I was fortunate enough to be able to back off touring, but I haven't been out since March. And, you know, it's funny. I was really getting burned out on stand-up. I was getting to the point where I was just kind of losing my fire for it. I think it's from, you know, you get soft when you get successful. You know, you're sitting in a director's chair and people are like, would you like an avocado toast? And you're like, I don't think I want to get on an airplane. I'm just being honest. You know, I've been doing it 30 years, but I now I really miss it. All through the quarantine and the shutdowns and stuff, I've really been writing. I've been writing a lot of premises now. If 10% of that stuff works, I'll be happy. But I miss it now. I really look forward to being able to go and connect with people again.
Yeah, we specialize in premises. Punchlines, few and far
There's
between.
the money, Tom. There's the money.
Billy Gardell is our guest. And I understand there's a story about the mustache. Are you comfortable telling that, or is this
with my pop? You mean?
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Oh God, yeah, man, absolutely. No, my dad. I lost my dad a couple years ago. Now, it'll be 3 years in September to lung cancer. And he is just he was just everything to me. I still talk to him, you know. I believe in that. If you talk to them and you think about how they'd react, I believe you hear their voice, and I think that's a gift. And my pop wore a mustache when he turned 50, and so I grew one out. And I thought, you know, I turned 50 a year and a half ago, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna wear a mustache like my dad did for a little while. See how it looks first. Like I said, it could go creepy or old timey. I like the old timey thing, but I decided I wanted to wear one too. And then Chuck Lorre called me with this show. And I was reading, you know, he's like, I think you're the guy for this again, which, by the way, was a huge fear in itself, because usually when you're on a hit sitcom, when you come back and try to do another one, episode 4 is everybody's like, that sucks. We're not watching that. so somehow I slid in again. I don't know how that happened, man. But I figured the guy's from Detroit. Yeah, he owns a compression sock business. He drives a Cadillac and he's 50. So I was like, just screamed mustache. So I think my old man was giving me a little wink.
So the producer, Mr. Lorre, said the mustache works?
Oh, he loved it. I walked in. I said, I got some ideas for this guy. I said, I want to give him a little bit of a 50s pomp and a mustache. And just I wanted him to be like, here's hip. Like if the line is hip, I wanted him to be like, 10 degrees under that. I wanted him just like every 50-year-old. You get a little tired of trying to keep up, and you go, I did the best I could. I still put together okay. I shaved. I'm not yelling at anybody. I did all right. But I kind of wanted to keep him there,
Our guest is comedian Billy Gardell. We've known Billy for quite some time. He was actually dragged into the studio by the late, great Tim Wilson.
Late, great Tim Wilson, man. And that made me actually laugh. Like, if you're watching this at 3 a.m, you're probably getting up just going, I didn't want that kid on the show back then. Why do I have to have him on? I got to hear him at 3 a.m. So you guys have been so kind to me over the years. And yes, Tim was the guy that brought me in there. When we drove in there to your show, he's like, Bill, I really love these people. So go on there and don't suck.
That is absolutely the perfect impression.
Dead on.
Impression of Tim.
I love him and I miss him. I drove around with him for, when I signed with my manager, which is also because of Tim Wilson. And Chris DePedicens has loved you guys. And Tim, I drove around with Tim for 2 years straight, opening for him for 2 years straight.
Wow.
I think he taught me as much while we were driving as he did about when we were performing. He was a good and decent human being, and unrelenting on that, which I really. Yeah,
I could give you a short list of topics to never bring up around Tim when you meet him in heaven.
Yes.
Because Ted Bundy,
Jimmy Carter,
the Bee Gees, Jimmy Carter, he could go on for hours.
You got to remember too, man. I was probably 21, 22 when I was riding around with him. So when I had enough lecturing, that's what I would bring up is those topics. I go, that sucks. I go, Bill, let me tell you something. I want to pull over. I'd do it just to mess with them,
Now, before we let you go, it would be very appropriate for me to say something semi-insulting. Do you remember when you came in way before it was fashionable? You had your head sort of shaved on one side, and your hair was going way over to the other. It's kind of fashionable now. It's kind of like someone had gone to a pet store and they got confused.
No. Listen, there were many incarnations. Believe me, there was. I think at one point I had dreadlocks, and now I have a 17-year-old who gets good grades and doesn't get in trouble. And I guess it skips a generation, which is a good thing. But I try to hide that stuff from him. I give it to him in little doses. Like, hey, here's another stupid thing your dad did. But I'm sure that was possible.
If you don't have that promotional photograph, the so-called headshot, I know where one is at a comedy club. Well, it's always a great pleasure. I'm glad you're doing so well, Billy. You take great care of yourself. And I forgot to mention Mondays, CBS at 8:30, Bob Hearts Abishola, featuring the great acting and comedy of Billy Gardell. So much fun, Billy. Take care.
Always good to talk.
We'll be watching tonight.
You look great, by the way.
Yes.
Very handsome, man.
Guys.
Thank you, sir.
You, be well.
You too, Billy.
You too. What a great guy. Christy, we were supposed to be doing some news. What's going on over there?
American Airlines making news. They've started a wine delivery service.
Here you go.
The company said the new program
Those bottles are on parachutes.
called American Airlines Flagship Sellers will allow customers to purchase wine by the bottle, by the case, or a monthly subscription.
Flagship Sellers, CELLARS. Get it?
Nice.
Oh, nice.
The $99 subscription offers access to discounted prices, a monthly shipment of 3 bottles of wine, and the ability to earn advantage miles with every dollar spent.
And your ability to say, it's too good to fly with me.
According to
Does each
CNN.
bottle of wine come with half of a Coke, but you can't have the can?
I don't think I've ever, and as much as I've flown, I don't think I've ever not been given the can.
Oh, are you serious?
What are you doing?
For me, it's a rare treat if they give you the whole can.
Yeah. And this was before my daughter's a flight attendant. They don't know I'm hooked in. I mean, yeah, they've always given me the can.
They take a look and they say, this guy wants the whole can of Diet Pepsi?
Can.
Good to know.
According to CNN, American Airlines has suspended in-flight alcohol sales during the pandemic, and the new service aims to sell off some of the airline's excess alcohol.
Why no drinking during the pandemic?
A lot because
They probably don't want you taking your mask off.
a lot of the airlines aren't doing that.
But they'll give you a soda?
No, you have to have an enema. They set up a bag.
Really? It hangs from the...
Yeah.
Boy, don't get the coffee.
In the event of a potential crash landing, don't confuse the two
anyway,
bags.
I always tell the
Depends on the airline, Josh.
Hey, that's a nice can. You
Yeah.
got a nice can. And she gives me the whole can.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, then that. So you're being rewarded
Turn it
for
into
your
a nice
compliment.
sexist joke.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
They always laugh.
They love it.
You know what? Do you think this would be a profitable business if we started an airline
A wine enemas.
called like air harassment, and you, the stewardesses knew what was good, and you were allowed to just sexually harass the not anything physical, but just.
I'll take this one. The answer, no.
I guarantee that the flights would sell out.
Why?
So it's like Ed DeBevick's, the restaurant
Right,
where they
yeah.
insult
I bet
you.
guys-
Hey, Toots, bring that sweet ass over here and bring me a Pepsi. You're telling me that there isn't a class of man out there?
Yes,
They'd
but
love that.
I would imagine that as soon as the lawyers for the stewardesses union got a hold of it.
Flight
But the
attendants.
the flight attendants were all cool with it. They wanted that.
Yeah,
job.
well, they were cool with it till they changed their mind.
Hey, sweet face, why don't you reach me that blanket? You get up, start humping her leg. Yeah.
No. Again, no physical.
Yeah, chick, that's crass.
Right,
Okay?
right.
Nothing physical's
You
happening.
can say literally anything you want.
So it's
Don't
like
touch him.
this is made for the Don Drapers of the day, for the fellas that like that old school attitude.
No, the guys who think they're Don Draper, but they have none of the charm.
And they look like Don Knotts.
Hey, sweet toots, I'm gonna need you to bring me a seatbelt extender.
yeah.
Hey, your panties smell like the coffee pot you cleaned them in. Yeah, that's
Here we
right.
go again.
I heard about that. All you chicks put your panties
don't
in the
do
coffee
that.
pot at the hotel.
One person told us that.
Matter of fact, my daughter has asked a couple of her coworkers, and they all have looked at her like she's insane.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Uncle
Well, it used to be pantyhose, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of the flight attendants aren't wearing hose these days. Remember the eggs they would come in?
Sure. Legs.
Are they still? Is that still out
Yes, they are still out there. Absolutely.
So the answer to your question is, I wouldn't ask for too many investors for your airline where they allow you to harass. I'm just saying.
What's the airline called, Josh?
Me Too Air.
No, it's not. That's not what it's called, Josh. No.
I think it gets the point across.
That wouldn't be the name.
How about Golden Hammers?
A tire fell off a plane, landed in a Chicago neighborhood recently. According to the Chicago Department of Aviation, a small plane had landed at O'Hare International Airport Thursday evening with some of its landing gear assembly missing. Later that night, police responded to reports of airplane landing gear being found in the Jefferson Park neighborhood. CBS 2
We're on your side.
reports the plane's tire had crashed in between two houses, and while no injuries were reported, area residents were left a bit unsettled.
So scary.
The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are now investigating.
Dropped from the sky.
Well, yeah.
Well, in Chicago, usually
Well, what do you mean?
in Chicago, usually you have to be in the ground to have your wheels stolen.
Yeah, that's true.
Want to take that one, Willie?
Yeah, sure.
They took all four of your wheels and the car.
Lock the door next time.
Yeah, that was the issue.
And don't leave your
Josh.
keys
Yeah.
in the ignition.
That's what happened, fellas. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Well, you are your dad's son.
Can't we just make a joke about not putting ketchup on a hot dog or something?
What am I
Do we have
saying?
to zoom in on
Of
Willie?
course, yeah, not only the car was on. This is what happened to Willie.
Is that true?
That's
No,
how
that's
his,
not what
that's how his
happened.
dad
No, that
does
was
it.
me. God, I did that again last week.
Left your car running?
God.
Yeah, went inside to a place, came out like an hour later, and boy, this car sure is warm.
You know what? You
Whoops.
get everything that deserves.
No, when you turn these
Everything
cars,
happens
when
to
you
you.
turn these cars off,
Whatever happened to you,
they
you
should
deserve it.
have a voice going, "You have just turned the car off."
Wait, but there's a series of bells and beeps that go off.
He's probably going, what the hell that is? Somebody's car.
You know him. He's like, well, I tried to turn my radio up and my car went off.
You heard those noises
Really?
and you answered your phone, didn't you? Hello?
The good news, it was quite cold outside that day, so I got into a nice toasty car.
He's just driving, his seatbelt beeper's going off, the check engine light is on.
People are
yeah.
beeping.
Oh,
Meanwhile, his girls are sitting in the parking lot going, you think he'll come back for us?
Wait, have you left them?
Where'd Daddy
You left
go?
one of us somewhere one time. We had to turn around. Do you remember that?
Yeah, let's not bring that up.
Hey, the car seems a little quiet. Wonder
There
why.
may be a deposition about that in some weird court of law, quote unquote.
You left without your kids. How did I know that happened? Why am I not surprised?
Sometimes in life, you just say the expression, "Where the hell's Lucy?"
Boy, oh boy.
Well, Pat, I'm going to call on you, Pat.
What story?
Get your guitar out. We
The
told
story
you twice.
we can't really put this photograph up on our.
The snow penis one?
Wow, that is so direct. Christy.
That's what it is.
Yes,
Well, we talked about it.
Someone created a 10-foot tall. It's described here as anatomically detailed.
Very detailed.
Very.
Phallus, a human male member, erected in the middle of a roundabout in Sweden, and it is very detailed.
Made out of snow.
Made out of snow, and it's gigantic.
Talk about winter is
10
coming.
feet.
Yes, yes, and it is in the full upright position, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
And at the base, you'll find the testicular sculpture. But again, the key to this is it is very. There's a lot of vein work, if you will.
It's vascular.
Very good. And the Swedish Transport Administration has said it's posing a safety risk because it's.
Well, yeah, people are staring at it, of course.
You
It's
can't
like
miss it. It's
you're
huge.
gawking.
And as it is, roundabouts are tricky.
You are gawking.
I almost said
Someone.
something bad.
Yeah, okay. But Pat has written a totally original song about this.
Well, Carly Simon tribute. It showed up one wintry morning, right by a roundabout. Two big snowballs, a shaft one eye, making the young girls shout. Woo! He had one eye pointed skyward while the cars drove by the cul-de-sac. And all the dudes wished that was their penis. That was their penis. Yo, so veiny. They probably should have just made a snowman. Yo, so veiny. Little kids should just see a snowman, not a nude man. No second verse. I don't know why I
Okay, thank you.
No second verse.
A little bit of, remember the famously Mick Jagger showed up in that song?
Yeah.
And You're So Vain?
Yeah.
That's it. That's him doing background vocals.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I was too busy thinking about myself.
Why were you thinking about yourself?
'Cause
Are
he's
you
so
vain?
That's right.
No.
Wow, Josh,
You probably thought that song was
Well,
about you.
I'm glad you got over that.
Wasn't it about, was the rumor it was about Cat Stevens or somebody?
About Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty, yeah.
Warren Beatty, that's right. That's right.
Good fun song.
I got Cat Stevens on the brain today. What the
Yeah,
hell?
you do. Did you
love
wake up
Cat
to Morning is Broken or something?
No pork for lunch then.
He doesn't even go by Cat Stevens anymore, does he?
No, Mustafa.
Yusuf
Tashiro,
Islam?
Yusuf
something.
Islam.
I
Just sitting.
Yousefi.
I'm being followed by a big Muslim.
That's an interesting take.
Oh, gosh.
Nothing like starting a jihad with an innocent little radio show.
Yeah.
Radio DJ gets fatwa put on him.
I felt like a little father-son thing, maybe.
His choice,
I
certainly.
thought Willie's drawing of Muhammad was bad.
You guys are on sacred ground.
Sorry.
Watch the entire show live or on demand at bobandtom.com or listen live with the Bob and Tom app. And be sure to tune in next time for more Bob and Tom Tonight.